When playing Star Wars Squadrons, a lot of people wonder which side is stronger. Most people think the Empire, but I'm going to break down my thoughts in this video.
Boom, boom.
Hey, this is Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Alright, thanks a lot for joining me here today. I'm going to do my thoughts on the difference between the factions and why I do think that they are fairly balanced. Okay, so when we take a look at these different sides, what I'm really thinking about, though, is at the highest levels of play. So, let's take a look at the New Republic first. Typically, people do think that they are at more of a disadvantage, but they do have a lot going for them on that side. For instance, the New Republic has shield ships, which are better for boost gasping, obviously, and all the ships have that. On the NR side, the problem is, of course, that only 3 of the ships are really viable in this boost gasping: the X-Wing, the Y-Wing, and the U-Wing. Now, speaking of the NR, the U-Wing is a much better ship than the Reaper. The Reaper's a lot harder to survive in. The U-Wing is a much more survivable ship and is a lot easier to get the beacons out and stay alive, do resupply, or whatever needs to be done to help the team out. And that can't be underscored how much that can help having a more survivable support player all game. The farm is considered better by many people on the New Republic side because of the way that the AI TIE fighters fly in formation, sort of like the 5 on a die. They're flying in that pack, and it's just easier to hit them closer together. A Golo on any of them will take out all 5, whereas versus the AI X-Wings, which fly in a V pattern, you have to specifically hit the middle. If they turn, it can kind of not kill one of them. The packs can break up on, separate a little easier. It's just a little bit tougher to farm the Empire side, so the farm is considered to be better on the NR. Now, I think the biggest factor in mitigating the Empire's advantage with damage output is that the ISD is easier to out of phase. If you can get it down to 50%, you can basically out of phase it within a minute by engine parking in the back of it, whereas on the other side, the Empire, it's tougher to out of phase the MC-75. Most teams have to get it under 20 to really do it efficiently. Otherwise, they may be thinking about playing defense. It's a lot tougher if you can't take out weak points at it. If they're not there to pop after anything more than that, you're taking a chance. You're probably going to have to die. You really need to strip all the turrets, and most teams just try to get all the damage they can in on the hull and just knock it down as quickly as possible, which is the better play. But that can't be mitigated by strong New Republic defense, which we're talking about in the farm, right? That's the big advantage there. You can get the flips faster, and also if they can even hold it to just sub 30, even talking more in the 20 to 30, they may be able to defend and get a one-phase attack back on the ISD. So that's the advantage to the New Republic that I think mitigates the strengths of the Empire, which I'll go through the strengths of the Empire now. So the Empire, of course, has the higher DPS for all their ships. All their ships are viable too, except for the Interceptor, really, and you could almost make a case for it because of shunt charging, but the TIE Fighter, the TIE Bomber, the Defender, and the Reaper are all viable ships, basically all 5, because some people have found ways to use Interceptors. At the highest level, the Interceptor will not work, though, unless it had something very special to it, I guess, to someone very special pilot making it work here. I guess we did see Jester maybe use it in the Cal Cup final still. The shield gens are quote-unquote easier to destroy on the MC because you can get under shields, of course. And the Empire side has shunt charging, so the TIE Fighter and TIE Bomber have, with good power management, infinite boost charging. So, very, very strong ships. They're so overpowered to use. So very impressive to see any of those out there doing the DPS. They get it out so fast, so it really takes, like I've talked about, a quick defense to get it. Resupply on those ships are so OP, and the Empire has the fastest ships. So looking at all of these, of course, the Empire does have a huge advantage, but it's mitigated by all of the things we've seen. Like without shield, gasping and skipping, the NR would just get blown out of the water constantly. Just even if people were flying straight all the time, like, you would get beat by the Empire because you would just be dying. Like, you would be losing shields and you would just get overwhelmed both in the PK and in the PvE front. There would be no, I think, real counter to it. I think it would be too I don't know if it would be viable at all. But because of these things, and because of auto phasing and all these things, it actually balances the game, I think. Does the Empire still have the advantage? Yes, it does. But it's closer to the 60-40 range, which generally, if you look at professional sports, the home team has somewhere in the 60%, sometimes more, sometimes slightly less advantage. That having your home is an advantage. So how do you mitigate this in comp sports to make it balanced? You give the home team an Empire choice if they want. Now, you can still beat an Empire team, don't get me wrong, because it comes down to strategy and how you play that Empire team. And I think it does come down to strategy on map. We've seen teams have more versatility in the way they play, and we've seen teams counter that and counterplay, as New Republic, like CA Gold had at the Cal Cup Finals, was, just so impressive. So there is definitely, I think, the right kind of balance to the two factions where the Empire has the advantage 60-40, but isn't that kind of perfect for this kind of a game? Like, isn't that lore specific? So I kind of think it is balanced in the right kind of way to Star Wars lore. I think that the things that people hate, the quote-unquote exploits that you might hear people talk about, actually help the game be far more balanced. It wouldn't be a fair matchup at all, I think, without it at this point in the game, and people can disagree with me, but I think that is the case. I am done. Okay, that's my thoughts on the two balance between the game. I really appreciate everyone checking out this video. Let me know your thoughts. You probably don't think it's balanced, so let me know why. Let me pick apart my argument. Let me know why I'm dumb. I appreciate everyone checking out this video. I'm Time Bomb, and I will catch you guys later.
Boom, boom.